So it seems to me that the simplest place for people to start with regard to finding their pathway forward is to be very careful with their words. And I want to know something personal from you. It's like, I believe that what you're doing on your podcast is attempting to find your way forward carefully. You're investigating and exploring, and that's the answer to the question about amorphous identity. It's like the people who push forward the notion that identity is fluid. That's the case if you're progressing forward in exploration and trying to expand your domain of responsibility, let's say. It's not true if what you're doing to be fluid in your identity is the abandonment of all responsibility whatsoever, right? So, and those can look they can look casually very similar. Now, I want to know from you, it's like, what is it that you're doing with your words when you're doing what you should be doing? And what's the consequence? What's been the consequence of that for you and for your reputation and for what would you say, for your dynasty and for everyone else? It's the same Abrahamic question. If you use your words properly, I mean, first of all, do you? If you do, why? When you do, what happens? How do you know when you deviate from that? And what do you think your responsibility is in that regard?
Thank you. The prayer of Jabez, I think in Chronicles 2, oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, that you would keep me from evil. I feel that with words...
That's a good one.
Yeah. I feel like with words, I'm trying to generate community. I'm trying to use language to create common unity, to instantiate and realize an inherent and already existing connection, and that we live individually and collectively in a super state of potentiality, that it is he has no hands but ours, that we are here to formulate his kingdom, that, as we have already referenced, that we are his apostles, that this is our duty. Now, for the experientially how that is as you have kindly suggested, it is indeed a gift and therefore requires no effort, requires only acceptance and a receptive state. When I'm in this receptive state, the communication is effortless. I'm almost not a participant. It seems to me that what the polarity is precisely as you have described, that I am a vessel for and a vehicle upon my instincts. The flow of my instincts are that we had the senses, are that we had the instruments to observe the patterns that might be about us, the endocrinal streams that may yet flow and where they carry me and with what telos and with what purpose in mind. Upon these with my rod I try to impose, Jordan, yes, an ancestral inheritance of some value. And the battleground for me is the inculcation of this ego. It was very, very well done by the culture. The raw material of the appetites was they did good work with this clay. So easy if you feel a continual lack, as one might if you have not yet been shown a path to God. So easy to worship their herd of golden calves that they lay before you, and all of the bounties that are on offer. It seems to me that it isn't, and this is from what I have learned from other alcoholics and addicts that walk the path ahead of me, that it isn't the external stimulant that must be addressed and overcome. No, it is the receptive pole. It is the coordinate. It is the inner coordinate that must be overcome. And I see what you mean now in the difference between the use of the staff and logos. And I imagine you're using that word because there is no perfect English interpretation available for it. And this kind of active awareness, this kind of active presence, making ourselves, as I try in the rosary, to imagine the vibrant nothingness, to feel the vibrant nothingness, and here within the vibrant nothingness is the Sacred Mother, and it is her that I petition that she may convey to her Son the God that she grew in her belly, that I pray to be forgiven, but not me as an individual, but me just as one more sheep, just as one more member of the flock. If I can overcome the appurtenances of my identity that I have been adorned with and self-adorned, that I have ornamented endlessly, that with the brush lent to me by the culture, with the lacquer that I've squeezed out of every gland, applied to fortify this shibboleth of self. If I can somehow overcome that, and where might I overcome it but in the present? Where but the present? Where but the as you say, the message of Christ, the absolute refusal to use force, the absolute refusal to use force, that the higher will might be engaged, that the higher purpose might find its fulfillment.
Whether you're feeling stressed or anxious, or simply seeking a moment of peace and tranquility, the Hallow app has something for you. Hallow offers an incredible range of guided meditations and prayers that are designed to help you deepen your spirituality and strengthen your connection to God. With Hallow, you can embark on a journey of exploration, diving into different themes and types of prayer and meditation. From gratitude to forgiveness, each session offers a unique experience, sparking your curiosity and deepening your spiritual understanding. Choose different lengths of meditation to fit your schedule, whether you have a few minutes or an hour. This flexibility puts you in control of your own spiritual journey. With its user-friendly interface and hundreds of guided meditations, the Hallow app has quickly become a go-to resource for people seeking spiritual growth and healing. You can download the app for free at hallow.com/Jordan. Set prayer reminders and track your progress along the way. Hallow is truly transformative and will help you connect with your faith on a deeper level. So what are you waiting for? Download the Hallow app today at hallow.com/Jordan. That's hallow.com/Jordan. hallow.com/Jordan for an exclusive 3-month free trial of all 10,000 plus prayers and meditations.
The challenge, Jordan, that I would offer you, inquiry rather, sir, is that the acceptance that what is happening is God's will, that the suffering is God's will, that to let it go to work on you, that the opposite, as I was taught recently, the opposite of faith is not doubt, the opposite of faith is certainty. And that to live in this, the horror of uncertainty, and to live there with grace, a grace that I cannot self-generate, even if the source of all things must include me somehow, that is the ongoing challenge. And with language, I suppose I hope to illustrate that there are connections in these patterns of differences, in these signifiers that may yet be arbitrary. I do see the markings of some fractal archetype. Perhaps the success of the language that we're currently using is meritocratic, maybe in its jagged consonants and flowing vowels, in its labial fricatives, in its linguistic grace. There is something akin to truth emerging if we will just allow it.